everyone would agree that there remains a scepticism towards English wine, although it's much, much less than it used to be. And but on the other hand, we've always sold out. You know, we started making 5,000 bottles a year and selling out in a year, and now we're up to 20,000 and selling out in a year. So we can't really complain. Right, so I'm starting with our crisp dry number one, which is making it. So obviously all our wines are dry.
Yes.
Out of the Devon growers that I know, at least half are now going towards doing sparkling wine. It's a very long and slightly technically complicated process, but we get the naturally high in acid grapes that Champagne would. We're not a million miles from Champagne, and I think it's already clear from what's showing through with English grape varieties that that is a way that we can actually be world class.
If you take Cornwall and Devon, indeed if you take the south coast and the south of England, as climate changes and it becomes a little warmer, I think there are big changes beginning to be seen in terms of the quality of fruit that you can actually produce each year. And not every year obviously is successful. We have dreadful summers when nothing happens. But in a good summer here, very good fruit can be produced, and good fruit actually does turn itself into good wine. And the techniques and the investment that we're seeing all through the south of England is really very encouraging. One, two, one. Yep. One. Yep. One. Thank you. Two.
Till about 10 years ago, most of the grapes grown in this country were things like Germanic hybrids and crosses, but now we've got the classic sparkling wine varieties, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier and of course Chardonnay. Those are being planted very heavily, and I think for the future those will be the varieties that will be found in most sparkling wine.
Quite a lot of people taste our wines and say, well, actually, that's not bad. And I say, no problem. And then they look slightly embarrassed, and I say, you know, don't worry about that. Because people are now starting to, you know, come round. There are people who are actually evangelical about our wines, and there's a whole range of different groups. But very few people do we now find who actually don't enjoy them when they taste them.
We are hoping that the climate change will increase and continue, and as that happens we will start making some very good red wines. Pinot Noir will probably become the dominant variety for reds, and for whites certainly Chardonnay will dominate. And I have no doubt that in 20 years' time we could be like Chablis in the production of still wines from Chardonnay.
A lot of people talk to me about climate change, and actually we just need good average summers, English summers. Will do us fine to produce what we believe is cool climate grapes, cool climate wines produce well.